Ladies and gentlemen, Convocation is now in session. As Chancellor, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our 295th Convocation. To all our graduates, first let me say congratulations. You have worked hard to achieve this, and graduation represents a major milestone in your lives. At Convocation, we assemble as a university community, the University of Western Ontario community, to celebrate and recognize your achievements at Western and to wish you every success for the future. However, your learning days are far from over. Learning is a lifelong process, and Western has not provided you with answers to all questions. At most, we hope that what stays with you is a way of thinking objectively and approaching problems with an open mind and a healthy respect for new ideas, all tempered with compassion and empathy for the human condition. You are forever a cherished member of this great university, founded more than a century ago, and we welcome you to the Western family. Again, congratulations to each and to every one of you. Now today, we also confer an honorary degree upon James Silcox, an acknowledgement of his contributions as a teacher and leader for more than 20 years, as a member of the decanal team in the Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry, and is an important part of the professional and personal lives of a generation of students. I'm delighted to welcome him to this convocation, and to present our distinguished candidate, I now call upon Dean Carol Herbert, Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry.
Mr. Chancellor, James Albert Silcox. Among academic physicians, it is not rare to find a clinical expert, mentor, teacher, administrator, innovator, leader, or lifelong learner. But it is extremely rare to find a single individual who embodies all of these roles of the physician so completely as our honorary degree recipient, Dr. James Silcox. At the core, Jim is a humble, humane, compassionate man, a servant leader throughout his career. Dr. Silcox is well known in London for delivering thousands of babies over nearly 3 decades of clinical practice in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynaecology. His contributions as a caring physician are enough on their own to warrant an honorary degree. But it is to his accomplishments as a teacher, administrator, and innovator in education that we also pay tribute today. Jim has been well recognized for his teaching, receiving Western's highest honor, the Plevo Award, in 1983. He has received the Class of 1962 Award for undergraduate teaching in the medical school, an unprecedented 9 times. The Ontario Council of University Faculty Association Teaching Award in 2000, the Dean's Lifetime Achievement Award for Excellence in Teaching in 2005, the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada Duncan Graham Award for Lifetime Commitment to Teaching in 2006, and the prestigious 3M Fellowship in 2008. Quite frankly, he has won every award we have ever nominated him for. As Professor Emeritus, he continues to teach future generations of medical students. Dr. Silcox served as a member of the decanal team at the Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry for more than 20 years, taking on the roles of Assistant Dean Undergraduate, Associate Dean Admissions and Student Affairs, and Vice Dean Education. During the 1980s and 1990s, he advocated for shifting traditional didactic medical teaching to small group learning and guided the curriculum to foster the multifaceted roles a doctor must learn in addition to becoming a medical expert. These are the standards by which all medical schools are now measured. His influence as an educator has also been felt across Canada through his service on provincial and national committees with the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario and the Association of Faculties of Medicine of Canada. Recently, his work in medical education has expanded to Rwanda, where he has served as a core member of the Task Force on Partnership in Curriculum Development for the medical school at the National University of Rwanda. As an innovator, Jim began the standardized patient program at Schulich and instituted faculty training and policies for equity and professionalism. He was instrumental in the expansion of medical education across our region through the Southwestern Ontario Medical Education Network, or SWOMEN, particularly through his leadership in the establishment of our Windsor program, which is now a full 4-year Schulich undergraduate MD program in Windsor. Jim was recognized by the Windsor community in 2009 for his contributions to medical education. But not willing to rest on his laurels, Jim is the consummate lifelong learner. In 1990, he returned to the university and completed his Master of Education, then his Bachelor of Arts in English in 2006, and then his Master of Arts in English in 2007. He has been a very recognizable face for Schulich Medicine and Dentistry in the London community as the faculty lead for our mini medical school, as well as for a number of community outreach series, which brought the humanities and arts together with medicine, with titles such as Medicine and Music, or Medicine and Murder Mysteries. Finally, let me say that Jim is one of the most trusted advisors I have known in my career. His knowledge, experience, and ability to see all sides of an issue, coupled with his innate compassion, translate as wisdom in so many ways. He is the best of Western and the Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry, and he is an educator and role model to emulate. Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor and in the name of Senate, I ask you to confer the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, upon Dr. James Silcox.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations, Dr. Silcox. Well done. Terrific. Very popular. I can tell by the response up there. Now, this is your degree and a copy of the citation. Good. On behalf of all assembled here today, I should now like to invite our newest alumnus, Dr. James Silcox, to address Convocation. Dr. Silcox.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. Vice Chancellor, Dr. Herbert, distinguished platform guests, honored graduands, and proud friends and families. First, I want to say that I am quite humbled today to have been granted this degree from Western. I wish to sincerely thank Dr. Herbert and also the Chancellor and Vice Chancellor and all who assisted and advised them in their selection process. Since the announcement, I have responded to well-wishers with the line that this was going to be the easiest degree that I had ever earned, since it came with no requisite class time, no essays, no projects, and best of all, no exams. But I found it was dead easy, only until I sat down to write this address. And then I realized just how difficult it was going to be. I felt the pressure. I became plagued by unbidden midnight thoughts of a public shaming. What if the university officials didn't like my talk? Could they fail me? Could they take the degree back? I must report that I have now had sufficient time to overcome my anxiety, and I think I can talk to you this afternoon for a few minutes at least about what diplomas stand for, and more importantly, what they don't stand for. My title: Don't Let Your Diploma Fence You In. When I was a little gaffer, one of my heroes was a smiling, white-hatted cowboy of movie and radio fame. His name was Gene Autry, and he introduced his weekly broadcast by crooning a twanging and plaintive Western melody called "Don't Fence Me In." As I toiled over my speech, that phrase came back to me, and I decided to take as my theme the plea that as you go forward from this institution, you not let your parchment fence you in. That is, that you not let it define and limit you. Certainly it has no inherent capacity to do so, and moreover, it is really a good thing that it cannot do so. At best, a diploma is an ambiguous document, neither verifying what your teachers think they have taught you, nor attesting to what your transcript says you have learned. Let's unpack that notion a little bit. For starters, there's the phenomenon that gets no mention on any course syllabus. Here I'm referring to those bits of unwritten curricular stagecraft and the unarticulated agendas to which everyone is exposed if he or she sits in a classroom long enough. I can tell you from my own experience as both a learner and a teacher on this campus that professors stand regularly guilty of delivering a number of influential unmentionables every time they speak. We prioritize and organize information, illustrate our points, color our delivery, effect our dress, and prance before you in ways that add multiple dimensions to every fact or idea that we deliver. Furthermore, you can add to this variable whenever a course has more than one section. For example, just because you and the person next to you took introductory university English, and just because both you wrote the same exam at the end of the course, I'm betting that you both don't know the same things about the standard prescribed course offerings. But you would never know that from looking at your transcript. Secondly, there is the problem of your own central processing of our lectures. Each of you selectively files away the precious offerings in constructs that are meaningful to you alone. So it is, even in the cases when a syllabus and its lectures are carefully and laboriously constructed in advance by a blue ribbon course committee, it's almost inevitable that any one given student will graduate with a different set of learnings from any other of his or her peers. To illustrate my point, I'm going to perform what is commonly called a micro-teach. That is, deliver a little tidbit of a lecture. You are going to be my class for the experiment. I'll be calling my micro-teach How to Deliver a Baby. Now, right away before I have uttered a word, you are likely arranging your mindset to deal with this topic. Some of you will think, now there is a skill that might come in handy someday. You never know when I might be called upon at a rock concert, or maybe in an airplane over the Atlantic to rush up and demonstrate my prowess. I'd better pay attention if I want to make a big impression. Consequently, you are prepared to hang on my every word, and may even now be borrowing a pen from your neighbor to take some notes. Others of you might have just experienced a wave of lightheadedness. You were thinking, I know this is going to be messy. I hate messes. I'm not really good with babies. So you are fidgeting in your seat, and you're looking for an escape hatch. Some may be even leaving right now, mentally at least. As your fearless professor, I am undaunted by any negative reactions that I sense coming from my class. And from those of you who are mentally still with me, here we go. First, assess the suture lines of the fetal skull so that you can determine in which of the four basic positions it lies in relation to the mother's pelvis. That is it LOA, LOP, ROA, or ROP? Now, this is an important finding, and it will help you determine if you're going to need to apply forceps. A procedure we don't have time to talk about today, but I'll expect you to know for the exam. Now, it's time to cue the mother to push in order to deliver the head. It's important that you shout this command with some gusto, so I thought I would insert a little practicum right into my microteach at this point. On the count of 3, I want you all to shout out, push. 1, 2, 3. That was excellent. After cephalic expulsion, always wait for the head to restitute. Then, using your right hand, reach under the symphysis pubis and place your index finger into the posterior axilla of the anterior shoulder, carefully avoiding pressure on the brachial plexus, and exert a little gentle downward pull to allow the acromion to safely deliver. Now, I strongly recommend that you try to avoid breaking the baby's clavicle or your index finger at this point. Then, with your right hand, cradling the head, direct your left hand down the spine and slip your fingers between the legs, locking them around the baby's ankles. A good rule of thumb at this juncture is to avoid dropping the baby. There, that's all there is to it. Except, of course, if the babe is coming breech first, in which case a whole different set of rules apply. And you should not be delivering the baby at all by this route, except on Thursdays. Okay, so what learnings might you have acquired from my lesson? Let's sample some variations, and I will give each one a little critique. 1, babies start out inside of women and must end up outside of women. And that's true. That's basic, and I'm really glad you got that. 2, delivering babies is very complicated. Well, that's sometimes true. 3, you cannot deliver a baby if you are left-handed. Now, that's not true. And that's a reflection of my bias as a teacher. It does creep in sometimes. 4, dropping the baby is likely to lose you points. True, but there are other reasons for not dropping a baby. I oversimplified the lesson a bit in the interest of time. I certainly hope you did your pre-reading last night. 5, I'm just too hungry, tired, and distracted right now to learn anything. I lost a train of thought right after the first sentence. Alas, a very common lecture phenomenon. And finally, 6, did he mean that about Thursday? Must be a scary day to deliver a baby. That's a trade secret for me to know and you to find out. And I'm sure many of you could add to my list. So you can see how it can be that your personal educational experience here at Western is unique to you alone. Does that mean that each year at Convocation, Western is perpetrating a fraud on the public with this document? Not at all. I'm prepared to contend that your diploma has its special worth to you and to society as a valorization of your proficiency at learning. It verifies that you have learned quite a lot of stuff in a finite period of time. And that's truly an accomplishment to be proud of, to be coveted, and admired by others. But before you get too impressed with yourself, I have to add that even this stripped-down validation of your mental prowess is transient. You see, diplomas must be looked upon as kind of like degrading isotopes. Starting tomorrow, how you function in a learning situation will begin to change, and so your diploma will become less and less a valid indicator of your learning capacity. Ah, but fear not. This is where the real power of your parchment is fully realized, for it will work for you forevermore, according to the Dorian Gray principle as first figured out by Oscar Wilde. As you, a mere mortal, get older and wrinkle up and gray out, your diploma will continue to reflect a version of you which is as youthfully pristine and as capable as you are right now, June 17th, 2010. And therefore, it will be able to open unimagined doors of opportunity for you for the rest of your life. For some of you, I'm even betting that those doors will lead to a life that is only tangentially linked to the degree that you'll be getting today. There's nothing wrong with that. Whatever beckons, go for it. In return for all the hard work leading up to this convocation, you are today being given not just a simple, static piece of paper suitable for framing, but a magical and amazing ticket to ride. Grab that ticket and climb on board. Follow it wherever it wants to take you. Don't let the degree on your diploma limit your destinations. As my old pal Gynaecology used to say, don't let it fence you in. Enough said. I sincerely wish you all the best for today, and more importantly, for the many amazing adventures that await you as you leave here today. Thank you very much.
So Jim, what can I say? As so many people here today are celebrating clearing a very, very high bar, you now tell us to shout out push and clear an even higher one. You have just been an inspiration to everyone in the Western community. You continue to be an inspiration to everyone in the Western community. And I cannot think of a better exemplar for this graduating class than what you have done through all of your teachings, through all of your learnings, and through all of your work. So again, please join me in congratulating our latest alumni, Dr. Jim Silcox.
At this time, I take pleasure in asking the Vice Chancellor to present the recipient of the Edward G. Pleva Award for Excellence in Teaching.
Mr. Chancellor. Will Professor Andrew D. Cron please rise? The Edward G. Pleva Award for Excellence in Teaching was established in 1987. Each year, the Pleva Award recognizes 4 full-time faculty members whose outstanding contributions to teaching have earned them numerous awards, wide renown, and the great acclaim and affection of their students. We have one of those recipients with us today. Professor Andrew Cron is a central pillar of the Department of Medicine. Andrew has reorganized both the classroom teaching and the case-oriented small group instruction in the Heart and Curriculum course of the MD curriculum. He is also an exemplary clinical teacher and mentor who is highly regarded by his peers and his students. Besides teaching in the Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry, Andrew is also a busy hospital physician and is an active clinical researcher and who has an extensive publication record. He strongly believes in collaboration and has worked with colleagues in several productive internal and external research groups. Before receiving the Pleva Award, Andrew was the recipient of many teaching awards, including the Ontario Ministry of Training Colleges and Universities Leadership Faculty Teaching Award, and the Douglas Bocking Award for Excellence in Teaching for Undergraduate Medicine at the Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry. Mr. Chancellor, it's my pleasure to present to you Professor Andrew Cron, recipient of the Edward G. Pleva Award for Excellence in Teaching.
Great, Andrew. Terrific record. Wonderful. I wish I could have taken some courses from you. That's the medal. And that's the certificate. Citation. Well done. Good. I take pleasure in asking the Vice Chancellor to present to Convocation our newly appointed Emeritus professors.
The designation of Professor Emeritus is an honorary title which recognizes long and distinguished academic service. Will Professor Vincent Morris please step forward? After receiving his PhD from the University of Chicago, Vincent served in the U.S. Air Force and then joined the Molecular Virology Laboratory at the University of California, San Francisco. He came to Western in 1976, where he has enjoyed an extremely distinguished scholarly career. Vincent has published more than 70 articles in many journals about the replication of viruses, viruses that cause tumors, and more recently, collaborative studies with research in the Department of Medical and Biophysics and Oncology. Vincent is well known for his ability to collaborate and network with colleagues at all levels. This has resulted in a string of significant publications that contributed to changing preconceived ideas on metastatic cancer treatment. He has been a tremendously valuable member of the Department of Microbiology and Immunology and leaves an extraordinarily important legacy to junior generations of faculty members. Mr. Chancellor, may I present Professor Emeritus Vincent Morris.
Great record, Vincent. That's terrific. What are you going to do now?
Keep teaching and working.
Terrific. Good. I'm glad to keep you around. There's your certificate.
Thank
You have it. Good. Thank you.
Will Professor Peter Norton please come forward? Professor Peter Norton is one of Canada's most distinguished physical chemists. His research on the chemistry and physics of surfaces is world-renowned. He was amongst the first to recognize the power of the scanning probe technology for studying interfacial dynamic phenomena. He has studied problems ranging from the association of molecules on metal surfaces to the adhesion of bacteria to polymeric surfaces. Peter has been recognized with numerous prestigious awards, and I name but a few: the Humboldt Fellowship, the Polanyi Lecture Award, a Killam Research Fellowship, and the Helmuth Prize. And of course, Peter is a Fellow of the Royal Society of Canada. Mr. Chancellor, may I present Professor Emeritus Peter Norton.
Research? Oh, great.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fantastic. I'm delighted to hear
As much
that.
as my wife will let me.
We all have that challenge. Good. Thank you. Good. Good.
And so now it's your turn. Will the candidates for degrees please stand? This is the best bit, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I am very honored to present to you the candidates who have successfully completed their academic programs at Western. I ask you to admit them to the degrees and diplomas for which they have been recommended by the Senate of our university.
Under the authority vested in me by the Senate, you will be admitted to the degrees and diplomas as shall be announced by the public orators.
Will the candidates please be seated? Mr. Chancellor, graduating students, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Convocation is the single most important time of celebration in the life of the University of Western Ontario. Today we honor these graduating students who, through determination, hard work, and intelligence, have met the demanding standards of a Western degree. Today is also an extraordinarily proud day for all of us associated with the University of Western Ontario, including our Board of Governors and our Senate, our faculty, our staff, and our many friends in the community. It is wonderful to see so many members of our community of learning who have taken time to join us and celebrate this important day in the lives of the graduates and indeed in the life of the university. Today you who cross the stage will join a very special group known as Western Alumni, numbering more than 260,000 people living in 150 countries around the world. I'm really pleased that Mr. Jim Etherington is here representing the Alumni Association, and I would ask him to stand and be recognized. Western's Board of Governors is charged with the responsibility for the overall governance of this institution. Today we have with us Mr. Jim Knowles, representing the Board of Governors. I would ask that he stand and also be recognized. I would also like to thank and acknowledge the parents, spouses, children, relatives, friends, and partners of our graduates who are here today. This celebration certainly would not have been possible without your loving support. So on behalf of this year's graduating class, please accept our most sincere thanks for the role that you have played in the journey that led us to this place here today. Now, let me congratulate once again the remarkable women and men who graduate with Western degrees. Today you become partners in the outstanding academic achievements of the University of Western Ontario. Please accept my warmest wishes and very best hopes and promises for the future to each and every one of you. Now, Dr. Silcox is not the only one who gets to give a mini lecture. I also get to give a mini lecture. This one is not nearly as important as his, however, it's quite practical for the day. First, I would ask that you withhold your applause for the graduates crossing the platform until each group of graduates has received degrees. This will ensure that every one of our graduates receives your full courtesy throughout the ceremony. Second, and this is the really hard one, I know that photographs are an extraordinarily important memory for this occasion, both for the graduates and also for their family and friends. But I can't have everybody rushing to the front at the same time to take the picture. So we have a plan. Let's see if it works. To ensure that each of you in the audience get the best chance to take a good picture, I would ask that you do the following. When your special graduate is approximately 60 names in the program from crossing the stage, please proceed to this area to my right, and I always have trouble, which hand is right? To my right, over here, and the ushers will guide you forward so that you can capture the special moment on your camera or your digital device or whatever you happen to have brought with you to do that. Sketching, however, has been tried before. We don't have enough time for that. I now call upon the public orators to introduce the candidates for degrees.
Mr. Chancellor, the following are candidates from the School of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies for the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Stefan Amiot. Michael Attard. Rafael Mafita Bahati. Duncan James Bain. Pengfei Chen. Uday Kumar DV. Melissa Evans. Tengxian Huang. Junhui Wang. Avidis Karadolian. Roselyne Marie Labbé. Terry Patrick Libold. Jian Liu. Christopher Ryan Mokri. Roman Narishkin. Abdel Nasser Hassan Ahmed Uda. Laura Christine Pavelka. Edwin Rockwell Price. Assad Rezai. Baojen Shan. Bradley Paul Simmons. Jocelyn Joan Tyndale. Lei Hin. Xiaokui Zhao.
Mr. Chancellor, the following are candidates for the degree Master of Science. Pavel Bodkin, Stephanie Grover, Curtis Donald Harleton, Ben Philip Harwood, Ray Hu, Sameh Kamis, Hi-Rin Kim, Nathan Paul Lemieux, Thomas Clayton Ansbach McPherson, Abdullah Mamoun, Paul Joseph Mensink, Patricia Ann Perlock, Afroza Rahman, Kavita Kishore Sushir, Vida Vakili, Yitzi Xiao,
Mr. Chancellor, the following are candidates from the Schulich School of Medicine and Dentistry and the Faculty of Science for the degree Bachelor or Baccalaureate of Medical Sciences honors programs. Haneen Abdullah, Danielle Ansari, Giovanni Michela Arpino,
Mr. Chancellor, we have a few Master of Science degrees that got lost in the bachelor's crowd. There are so many of them. May I present to you for that master's degree Muhammad Iftekhar Chowdhury and Sharmeen Ahmed.
Benjamin Arsick, Matthew Au, Jane Jiang Bai. Laura Caitlin Baker, David Bakhtash, Timothy Balkaran. Emily Ballantyne, Nicole Banco, Katrina Baraskova. Bethany Bass, Karina B., Catherine Bereznicki. Leslie Bergman, Lingjun Bin, Jordan Bissans. Michael Blazak, Kishan Mar, Reza Sabarianfar. Donald Gerald Bokin-Fuso, Yankan Zhu, Brandon Brillen, Governor General Silver Medalist. Kelly Bronson, Laura Allison Budd, Miranda Butcher. Christopher Byrne, Blair Capel, Mark Carias. Matthew Anibal Fortes Carias, Baldwin Chan, David Charette. Kabir Singh Chauhan, Scott Chen Hao Chen, Clara Wu Hyang Cheong. Jessica Hoi Ling Chung, Michael Chung, Yvonne Chiang. Sandra Chu, Edwin Ga Ming Chu, Seth Clemens. Matthew Stephen Collins, Jonathan Cosby, Donna Svetkovic. Claire Sear, Mark Churchman, Basil Dabag. Jacob Davis, Danielle Desprez, Sarah Di Clemente. Daniela Dimitri, Dominic Dobransky, Amy Dresser. Lindsay Dryden, Leanna Dunn, Tariq Esmail. Emmanuel Iwara, Jonathan Fairbairn, Scott Douglas Findley, gold medalist. Lisa Forrest, Chantal Jacqueline Forrestal, Christopher Foster. Lance Freeberger, gold medalist. Jonathan Fuller, Richard Wenshi Gao. Nitan Garg, Mark Gied, Stephanie Karina Gottheil, gold medalist. Cassandra Lauren Greenberg, Ryan Guinness, Kelly Gutpel. Stefan Giesler, Jesse Hackett, Jonathan Hagel. Danielle Hammond, gold medalist. Marjorie Ho. Kun He, gold medalist. Kyung Hwa Ha, Sabina Hussein, Brendan Innes, gold medalist. Elena Ruxandra Yosef, Anam Islam, Sneha Iyer. Abby Jacobs, Apurv Alankar Jain, Shilpa Jain. Jessica Jacob, Christiane Jarvist, Diana Nicole Jaskolka. Aaron Rohan Jatan, gold medalist. Hale Javidnia, Engin Judith Jung. Raik Kang, Daryl Carpel, Tyler Castor, gold medalist. Anisha Karkar, Sonam Kusal, Kathy Koo. Kyung Hoon Kim, Justin King, Mary Ellen Kunzig. Stephanie Kulhawi, Anton Kurdin, Heather Dawn Laxo.
Laurel Lynn Laxo, Clara Lai, Andrea Lapp. Julia Laverty, Kevin Lee, Jeffrey Lester. Kevin Ka-Ki Leung, Stephen Lee, Bradley Ickblau. Cassandra Lin, Eddie Ijiao Liu, Liberty Liu. Ian Lobb, Natalie Ann Longuet, Sabrina Liu. Emily Hinman Lui, Kristen Lithgow, Yi-Chan Ma. Andrew Matuszewski, Sean McClellan, Jeremy Matlow. David Mattingly, Lindsay McCall, Ian McCormick. Megan Melland Smith, Michael Meschino, Scott Messenger. Sanjeevan Mishra, Manisha Rajendra Mistry, Kirash Mohajer. Mark Monacasa, Helly Rebecca Motruck, Aniket Nadekar. Igor Nazarov, Alan Ng, Scott Nguyen. Hannah Ostapska, Amanda Michelle Noel, Mark Panetta. Jongmin Park, Daniel Luke Pepe, Michael Andrew Pest, gold medalist. Rachel Myra Pettipiece Phillips, Sharushi Prasad, Benjamin Watt. Brittany Rasmussen, Nicholas Wren, Yanju Ri. Is it you? Stephen Ryu, Esther Kittai Rosenthal, Jenna Rubino. Stephen Russell, gold medalist. Louisa Marie Salami. Pravinan Satkunanathan. Matthias Sinoka. Shivani Segal. Caitlin Shaw. Yoon Jung Shin, Jennifer Shin, Jongjun Shin. Tanya Sleeman, Margot Smith, Rachel Smith. Jean-Paul Solea, Ian Stanaitis, Kimberly Stevens, gold medalist. Michael Kenneth George Stewart, Oren Sudai, Justin Spierschek. Heather Bethia Taylor, Christopher Tomei, Ryan Tu. Cassandra Marie Townsend, James Tran, Carolyn Treeman. Kelly Rebecca C., Shane Varghese, Adriana Romona Vassi. Thomas Vellanozzi, Andrew Versalata, Zhao Wang. Sean Weber, Sarah White, Megan Elizabeth Benyuk Wiebe. You say Willem or Wilhelm? Thank you. Amanda Wilhelm, Daniel Wong, gold medalist. Rachel Kai-Yi Wong. Wenyan Shi, Mei Yang, Patrick Yu. Philia Yu, Monica Chang, Julie Zhang. Dan Annie Chu.
Mr. Chancellor, the following are candidates from the Faculty of Science for the degree Bachelor or Baccalaureate of Arts honors programs. Shufei Chen, Lisa Carolyn Grieve, Michelle Madeline Short. Shannon Nanette Short, Yi Zhang. Mr. Chancellor, the following are candidates for the degree Bachelor or Baccalaureate of Science honors programs. Menika Abiwardian, Mark Ebeliser, Sarah Accardi. Nicole Agro, Jonathan Exlog, Temina Ahmed. Hiba Al-Taherni, Sieda Alam, Bilal Alani. Danielle Amiel, Stefan Andich, Michael Andrews, gold medalist. Sarah Aquino, Samara Ayub, Tyne Baker. Brittany Ballant, Jessica Barber, Michelle Barr. Jeffrey Allen Baxter, Aimee Besnet, Wes Beaton. Yvette Beausoleil, Catherine Belgrave, Nicole Bellissimo. Laura Ellen Barral, Catherine Ann Betsina, Amanda Bianchi. Cassandra Ann Birch, Viveka Biani, Christopher Blanco. Dana Ball, Justin Thomas E. Bondi, Hillary Booth, gold medalist. Elise Nicole Fabris Brimble, Candace Brintnell, Kristen Brown. Joanna Veronica Brumaro, Julia Burke, Jonathan Cable. Lisa M. Campitelli, Tyler Douglas Can, Santo Carino. Patrick Carnegie, Elise Carvalho, Sarah Cave. Katie Patricia Charlevoix, Ryan Chen, Sam Chippin, gold medalist. Daniel Cho Key, Patricia Christian, Tamara Chu, gold medalist. Dylan Chun Lam, Christine Sisowski, Megan Cockram. Jessica Lee Collins, gold medalist. Alexandra Copeland, Elise Avor Comey Bowens. Jennifer Cotton, Victoria M. Crooks, Danielle Kircher. Ryan Dagg, Kyle Daly, Rachel Danielson. Brittany Davis, David Joseph DeAngelis, Emma Marie DeFields, gold medalist. Whitney DeGroot, Laura Detzler, David Dixon. Jeffrey Patrick Dillon, Andrew Robert Dittmer, Patrick Doherty. Daniel Downey, Catherine M. DePerzal, Adam Eckmeyer, Aaron Motter Eit, Alex Ernst, Jessica Favarolo, Craig Felbow, Kevin Finner, Tegan Fisher. Seema Furazanda, Adam Furman, Patrick Galange, gold medalist. Daniel Galino, Nicholas Ganderton, Brittany Lauren Gerhardt, Alexandra Girard, Matthew Grasby, Raul Gonzalez, Groeneweg, and it's Griesman? Griesman, thank you. Joshua Daniel Griesman, Barbara Groeneweg, Gabriela Guerra, Guevara, Mark Guevara, Sylvia Guo, Ryan Guterman, open a new mind. Kelly Nicole Haggett, gold medalist. David Scott Hall, gold medalist. Matthew Adam Hall. Carolina. Okay. Lauren Carolina Harris, Kelly Hawk, Jeffrey Hepburn. Carly Hewson, Megan Houghton, gold medalist. Sarah Hogan. Stacy Holbrook, Kelly Diane Hollingshead, Keith Horwood, is this how many or how many? Yiting Xie, Melanie Hudson, William John Hominy, both cases? Yep. Ryan Hutchings, Christian Huing, Lisa Huing. Andrea Imucci, Michael Stewart John Inman, Farzad Adutstar, Whitney Jones, Jacqueline Jung, Garrett Kapp, gold medalist. Lauren Karpman, Natalie Beatrice Kale, Corey Kilpatrick, Kwang Ho Kim, Stephanie Uyang Kim, Johan Kim, Kristen King, Jennifer Klopfer, Monica Komar, gold medalist. Sandra Krejish, Christine Kingma, Polydoros Kyriakou. Okay. Samia Lahib, Neil Dillon Mason Lam Palmer, Nicholas John Lawrence.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's still many graduates to cross the stage, so let's pause and applaud those that have just recently crossed, shall we?
Benjamin Laufer, Zhonghua Li, Peter Legg. Brian Leaptog, Leslie Lurch, Hélène Levasseur-Vien. Alana Lewis, Ryan Bro Libby, Alexander Lin. Joanna Liu, Brian Lockhart, Catherine Lott. Isam Lubani, gold medalist. Corbin McGilvery, Adam McIntosh. Shauna McKenzie, Chantel Marie McKinnon, Suzanne McPherson. Sandra Jean McTavish, Kelly Mason, Ashley McAlpine, gold medalist. Christopher McAlpine, Leanna McBrain, Matthew McCready. Scott McCusker, Megan McInerney, Tawny McKee. Laura Elizabeth McMillan, gold medalist. Matthew McNevin, gold medalist. Jillian May McTavish. Jessica Metcalf, Magdalena Natalia Mikowski, Nima Mapurian. Izan Hani Mohammed Izam, gold medalist. Farisa Mohammed Zafa, Natalia Moldovan, gold medalist. Jessica Morden, Courtney Morgan, Daniel Morale. Raki Morzeria, Eric Mushedere, Ayman Naim. Rio Nakagawa, Jasmine Ann Nathaniel, Brian Go. Lynn Nguyen, Michael Nightingale, Brian Nickel. Swati Nakum, Angela Noseworthy, Terrence O'Donnell. Vanessa Navela Omana Moreno, Sacha Melanie O'Regan, Jeremy Samuel Ozier. Evan Pacey, Sean N. Pan, Karina Pachal. Rosika Papich, Jessica Pardy, J. Min Park. Caitlin Parker, Arnold Pat, gold medalist. Stephanie Paul. Kyle Pellerin, Sunil Prasad, Trevor Pinchin. Tyler Pinter, gold medalist. Alexander Pokluda, gold medalist. Amy Claire Polsinello. Lucas Bruce Powers. Ashley Elizabeth Pressey. Stephanie Prezioso. Christina Quinn. Matthew Quinn, Governor General Silver Medalist. Jaredon Neil Quiring. Jason Rashcott, Jeffrey Rejeski, Vanessa Restagno. Amanda Richmond, Renee Rio, gold medalist. Sean Robinson. Jacqueline Rosenbaum, gold medalist. Jared Brandon Roth. Daniel Wallace Rosum, gold medalist. Lorraine Margaret Royale. Alexandra Sarah Rutwind. Peter Schnur. Jacqueline Madeline Schulman. Alexandra Schwartz. Samer Saran. Spencer Sarin. Justin Shamus. Corey Shankman, gold medalist. Hannah Shannon, Yu Tong Shuo, Kirandeep Sidhu, Lauren Simonik, Craig Cinnamon, gold medalist, Camilla Skalski, Nicholas So, Stephanie Stoby, Holly Jean Stover, Rebecca Stutchberry, Robert Sugar, gold medalist, Caitlin Sullivan, Alexander Swanton, Jennifer Switzer, Jonathan Taylor, gold medalist. Paige Thompson, Ansley Caitlin Tinkham, Andrea Elizabeth Tracy, Wendy Trin, Stephen Trua, Victoria Tuison, Lena Vanden Elson, Priyanka Vital, Kevin Allen Venus, Vedrin Vucic, Nadine Haneko Wakabayashi, Stephanie Wales, Julia Wan, Andrea Wazaleski, Caitlin Weaver, Denusha Wiratunga, Haley Wells, Kaylee Wilmot, Andrea Wishart, Christopher Witters, Jesse Wong, Artur Wozniak, Yuan Zhu, Jennifer Manlock Yim. Toby Yip. Hui Jung Yun. Amanda Young. Sama Zakut. Janelle Alexis Zapiria. Agatha Zenowich. Shannon Zikovitz. Carmen Zolotovskaya. Disho Zomaya.
No.
Mr. Chancellor, the following are candidates for the degree Bachelor or Baccalaureate of Science, Honors, Foods and Nutrition. Tara Kennedy, Alexandra Beth Lubelsky, gold medalist. Mr. Chancellor, the following are candidates for the degree Bachelor or Baccalaureate of Science, Honors Human Ecology. Kevin Crichton, gold medalist. Kelsey Lynn Gallagher.
Thank you. In the name of the Senate, I grant to the Registrar the authority to confer degrees and diplomas to those candidates whose names appear in the official program but who are not present today. At this time, I invite Mr. Jim Etherington, past president of the Alumni Association, to say a few words.
Mr. Chancellor, fellow graduates, on behalf of the Board of Directors, the volunteers, and the staff of Alumni Western, I indeed welcome you as members, whether it's an undergraduate degree or a graduate degree. We got you now. I would also point out to you that as a graduate, a member of Alumni, you are entitled to a series of programs and services, insurances and credits and what have you that are available exclusively for Western alumni. I remind you that following this, there's a reception in your honor sponsored by the Alumni Association in a tent right beside where you turn in your regalia. No cold beer, just lemonade and some cookies, but you're welcome. Bring your family too. Finally, a suggestion, have a great life.
Before closing Convocation, I wish to express my appreciation to all who have contributed to the success of the day, and in particular, and on your behalf as well, I'd like to thank the University of Western Ontario Convocation Brass for their magnificent performance, and their director, Professor James Mackay. James. May I request that the audience remain at their seats while the academic procession leaves the hall. Convocation is now adjourned.